So hi everyone, I'm Wessel from NovaCustom, and my presentation is about the demonstration of our new V54 and V56 series, and I will also show you a roadmap of 2024. So let me briefly introduce our company. NovaCustom was established in 2015, and it is called NovaCustom since 2018. We are a custom laptop supplier from the Netherlands. We also offer custom laser engraving services for our laptops, and we supply some of our models with the Dasharo coreboot firmware. We are fully switching to the Dasharo coreboot firmware by the end of this year. We support both Windows and GNU Linux operating systems, and we are highly privacy and security focused. We also really value the right to repair and sustainability. And you can find more information on our website, novacustom.com. So yeah, today I will take you with me to view the roadmap of this year, and then I will give a demonstration of the new laptop series, and I feel like everyone's very excited about that. So that's great. I will give you an overview of the ports it has, and we will also be running the laptop with the Dasharo coreboot firmware. I will then tell you something about why we are switching to good RAM for internal memory modules and SSDs. Then we'll let you know that we will have enhanced repair guides for our new model series and the NV41 series as well. The e-waste trade-in program is something that we have introduced this quarter, which I would also like to say something about. We are planning hardware kill switches for our laptops, and I will also explain to you why we are switching to flashing the embedded controller from coreboot. So yeah, this is basically the roadmap. We have introduced the e-waste trade-in program, and we have also switched to good RAM for the new laptop series, as I said, for the internal memory modules and SSDs. What needs to be finalized this month is are the enhanced repair guides, and of course the new Dasharo releases, which will hopefully be released very soon. Then for the next quarter, we will hopefully have Intel boot card support, and there will be a HATS firmware update as well. FWUPD LVFS is also something we will take a look at. Then we have hardware kill switches, and custom keys for Intel boot guards is also something that we would like to discuss with the Dasharo team. Of course, also UEFI capsule updates for our NovaCustom laptops. And in this quarter, we will be more than other times monitoring AMD hardware because of the open SIL things going on there. So yeah, let me again remind you about our new model, which is the V54 series. It is equipped with the Dasharo coreboot firmware, of course, and it has a 14-inch QHD Plus screen display. It comes with an Intel Meteor Lake 125H or 715H CPU. It has different graphics options. The base models have the Intel Arc graphics only, and in combination with the Ultra 7 processor, you can also optionally choose a dedicated graphics card, which will then be the Nvidia RTX 4060 and 4070 GPU. It has one M.2 PCIe 4 SSD storage drive. Previously, I've announced PCIe 5, but apparently this has been dropped for some reason for now. You will have 2 slots if you do not opt the Nvidia graphics card. Of course, this laptop will also have a TPM 2.0 chip, and it weighs about 1.6 kilograms. So we hope to deliver early July. We don't know about the Nvidia models yet. We really hope that the development of that will also be, well, let's say as smooth as the current ones we are working on, which are the iGPU only versions. And of course, we would really like to have CubesOS certification for this new model, but I'm not sure if that's possible earlier than August. It's probably something we can discuss in feedback. So here are some newly made pictures of this model. And we also have this model as a 16-inch version, which can then be selected with either a Full HD screen display or also a QHD Plus screen display. It weighs a little bit more at 1.8 kilograms. Of course, this has a very similar motherboard, so the firmware development is pretty similar, I think. Maybe even with the same firmware binaries. I'm not really sure about that, but at least it's a good thing to keep things forward to have similar hardware. Okay, this one of course will also be applied for CubesOS certification, so let's hope that that will be feasible. So as you can see, this one is really similar to the 14-inch model. It's just the screen size. Oh yeah, and by the way, also the keyboard that has a separate numpad. So yeah, I would say let's check out the new models as I have them here. I will drop the screen sharing. Hopefully I can see myself now. Yes, okay. So there we go. Here are two laptops. One of them is even equipped with a custom logo engraving. So if you are looking right now and you recognize this logo, it's probably your laptop that has been bought as a pre-order. So let's have a look at the ports it has. Of course, it has a DC jack, a regular USB-A port, two USB-C ports. One of them has Thunderbolt support. On the back side, you can see that it has a decent space for cooling and an HDMI slot, as well as a full Ethernet slot. And there is the other USB-A port, a headphone jack, I think, yes, and a micro SD card slot, as well as a Kensington slot for physical security. So let's quickly remove this protection. And this is what it looks like from the, oh, that is right. So yeah, here you can see that it is running. I've already flashed Dasharo on it. Don't know about the exact what I should execute for the BIOS details. Let me see here. It says Dasharo coreboot. I don't know if it's readable. I'm not sure if you can see it, but
Wessel, you can do probably Control Plus or something to increase the font size.
Control Plus. Let me try. Oh yeah. So yeah, as you can see, I see it in mirror. I don't know if it's the case for you, but
it's fine. Yes.
It is running, so that's great. But yeah, well, now I will show you why we do not sell this one yet with this development version of Dasharo, because if we reboot this somehow with this configuration, I'm not sure why the screen is black and it will no longer turn on. So of course that's something we have to dig in and to find a solution for, and which is typical for firmware, firmware development, I would say. Here is the 16-inch version. And this one is working. It's gonna also restart, so that's a good thing, of course. So it says test. Okay, maybe it got too long in suspend mode because it is no longer locking in. But yeah, as you can see, these types of problems are, I would say, typical for development versions of firmware, and this is why why it's so important to first resolve all these bugs before dispatching all orders, because you can imagine we do not want to have our customers to have these kind of problems. So I think that's it for these for this little demonstration. Let me check what I have maybe missed. Okay, I will continue with my presentation. So let me share my screen again. So we have also a new collaboration established with GoodRAM, which we are really proud of. GoodRAM is the only manufacturer of internal memory modules and SSDs in the European Union, and of course that's very good for us to have as much of the production back to the European Union to get less less dependent of China. We already did that, of course, with the production. A lot of the assembly process happens here in the Netherlands. Also, the firmware application is happening here. Of course, the development of the firmware is also happening within the European Union, in Poland to be exact, and that's also where these new memory modules come from. We have NovaCustom branding on these. In fact, these are just regular GoodRAM modules, but it's just a nice thing to see, to have our own logos on it. We have, I mean, GoodRAM has extensive testing for these modules, of course, especially for the test modules they do a lot of temperature tests and stress testing. Of course, also a lot of performance testing, and we have been in at their location to see this with our own eyes, and that was a very nice opportunity. Of course, the Dasharo team takes care for the compatibility to make sure that these modules are working flawlessly with our laptops. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is only for the new V series. So for the older ones, like the NV41 that is still live, we keep on using the Kingston and Samsung SSDs. We also have a new e-waste trade-in program, as every year 61 billions of millions of tons of e-waste is being disposed worldwide, which corresponds to 17.4% of this amount is being disposed in the correct way, which means that this is being processed in an environmental friendly way. So therefore we have introduced our new e-waste trading program, which is available for EU customers only for now. The goal, of course, is to reuse components as much as possible. It's either for selling the components directly through our customers when somebody needs a spare parts and orders some kind of spare part. We can decrease the delivery time if the customer accepts to have a second-hand part, and also we can give a little discount on that in such a case. And if some parts are not, or whole device is not usable anymore, we transfer them to IT Recycling, which is a Dutch company, and they resell it either as a second-hand device, if it's still functioning, or they will just disassemble the whole device and recycle the metals, plastics, and circuit boards. So yeah, this alongside our values for sustainability to keep a device up and running as long as possible with our warranty services, with the Dasharo coreboot we deliver for 5 years on it, and 7 years of spare parts availability. Alongside with these values, we hope to reduce e-waste as much as possible. The nice thing about this feature is that the customer gets a compensation of at least 25 euros or 50 euros if the device is still functioning, or even more if the laptop has been bought by at NovaCustom before. So something else we have planned are hardware kill switches. This is currently in the development state. It's a nice privacy features, and what it does is cutting off the power and signals of the Wi-Fi module and for the camera plus microphone module. So these are separate switches. By the way, for the Wi-Fi module, it is Wi-Fi plus Bluetooth, of course, because this is one module. So there's no need to rely anymore on software or firmware for disabling these, although those options are, of course, still available. To get this function, we would need to modify the case to some extent, and therefore it is not really a cheap option. It is an additional 90 euros it will be, and we will start the deliveries for these for the NV41 series. We will also make them available as a spare part with instruction how you can implement this at your own NV41 series. But it is not live yet. We will introduce it in the next quarter. Once we've got the confirmation, I must say, from our hardware developers that this is indeed feasible and we can go ahead with it. But we already paid a lot for this investigation, and so far they have said that it would be feasible, so we have fully trust in that. One of the last things I would talk about is the embedded controller flashing that we will move to coreboot itself. Well, normally if you would like to update the firmware, you would need to boot to the Dasharo tool suite, which is a great tool, of course, and it's easy for us to boot to it. But there are a lot of everyday users maybe who are not so familiar with booting to other devices, and so for them it would be really nice to have a feature to update the firmware from the operating system directly. Until now, there was always a problem with flashing the embedded controller, but Michael found some way to flash the embedded controller from coreboot itself at the first time after the update of the main SPI BIOS firmware has been applied. So yeah, in that way, we can support FWUPD again, hopefully, and yeah, that's it. So we will, as always, I will encourage everyone to join our forum, GitHub, and also these kind of online events. If you have any troubles which can be seen as a bug, I encourage you to report this on GitHub, because if bugs are not reported, of course, we can also not solve them. So please do that. To discuss about NovaCustom hardware in general, or to get directly feedback from us and help from us in an open way, you can use our forum. And just to chat, you can, of course, use the Dasharo matrix. Yeah, and if you have any questions for now, please go ahead. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, thank you very much, Wessel. Like, we are slightly delayed. I have also I have my own interest in questions about this, but I don't know how long you will be available. But maybe we can catch up, and I have some questions like regarding pricing. For example, the pricing for like 64 gig versus 96 gigs is like, it's like a huge step, yeah. And I understand that this is different in the pricing of modules, but it would be great if you can talk about that. Yeah, and also I saw when I was in Vietnam, there was a lot of question about keyboard. If the keyboard can be closer to something which is in ThinkPads, people love this kind of keyboard. I guess you get this kind of questions a lot.
Yeah, so I can quickly answer that.
Sure.
We are depending on the models that Clevo make. Clevo is our ODM provider. They are responsible for creating the keyboard, and it's just what it is from that hardware perspective. We can modify it to some extent sometimes, but keyboard it's not feasible for us as a small company to do something about it. Even though if we would really like. If we would request such kind of modifications to get a keyboard that is as good as a ThinkPad keyboard, I must admit, then we would require something like 10,000 units or more, and maybe that is even low. So it is not feasible at this moment.
Yeah, sure. Okay, that's. I guess that's something we could talk about, and like how to make it, how it is possible to make it. Okay, so I have to do closing remarks also. I see Lynn is already here. Lynn, do you hear me?